We're here with Brian John Kalina, the Wiz, the captain, the board wipe mastermind himself. And he just got 7th place at the Indianapolis Regional.
True. What's up, guys? Darian and I played the same list. My list. He was complaining for hours about my 42-card Spright adventure list. And this man gets 2nd place. What a bozo. Let's get into it, though. So this is the exact list that I won the... almost the exact list that I won the remote regional on Sunday with. I submitted the wrong list for the remote regional, so I had to play the regional without red resonator, but I still won it. So here we go. We got 3 blue, 3 jet, 2 red, 1 carrot, no pixies. I don't even know what I would do with the pixies, and I love 2 red. I've been playing 2 red since I started playing this deck, and I'm a big fan of it, so I will continue to keep it. And 3 starter, 1 smashers for the Spright cards. And we got 3 swaps, 1 Ronin, no dupe. Shout out to Blake, he can have those back. Brave cards, so 3 Enchantress, 1 Griffin, 3 right. Adventure Draco back. I don't love these cards, but I don't hate them. I think they're really good. And sometimes opening these in multiples isn't the worst thing in the world, because if you're going second, 2 right when the first one gets negated, the first one almost always gets negated, and then you just activate the second and you win sometimes. Hand traps instead of board breakers for me. I don't know if it's better than the board breakers, but I just really like the hand traps, so I played the hand traps. So 3 Ash, 3 Gamma, 2 Crow, 3 Imperm. So 11 hand traps and 42. I don't know the math. You can do the math. There's a million hyperbolic calculators.
Out
So,
there, yeah.
But I do this a few times. It sucked. But typically when I resolved these cards, especially in multiples, I was winning the game. So
Yeah, and this one overperforms.
yeah,
Actually overperforms.
I don't know. I think Ash is a lot better than people think it is. So I think I'm going to keep this in my deck for a long time. It's been in most of my deck lists since 2017. So, and then 3 pot, 1 call by. I like playing the game. This is a little bit worse now because people aren't playing as many hand traps, but it's also just like really good against tier and going second into a toad. So, especially if you're playing the adventure cards, because a lot of people will toad you right, and then you can call by and they can't chain elf because you have no monster yet. So it's possible that this is better with the board breaker spells and stuff, because you have more power spells to bait the toad, but
No, this is just one of the most powerful one-ups in the
yeah,
game. You have to play it right.
it's a good card. It's hard to justify cutting a card like that. Extra deck, we got 3 elf. Without the adventure cards, I was playing 2 for a long time, but I think 3 is really important, especially if you're playing prosperity, because I do banish the 3rd sometimes. And with the adventure cards, sometimes you have to use them to make 2 elves in your combo. So 3's important. Almirage is still important. Dark, IP, Unicorn. I'm missing the Water Charmer. I chose to not play it intentionally. But more and more Spright mirrors are popping up again now that people are kind of settling into, like, I don't know, it started with a lot of Spright mirrors and then it swung to a lot of tier decks, and now it's kind of swung back and balanced a little bit. So most of the decks I played this weekend were either Spright or tier. So I think Water Charmer might have to find its way back into my extra deck, but it was not there today. For the Xyzs, I played 2 Gigantic, 1 Toad, Onimaru, Maru. I say it wrong all the time. Sky Cav, Donner, Zeus, and Cat Shark. I'm never not playing this card. Darian hates it.
I'm a fan of Daigusto Phoenix.
He plays Daigusto Phoenix instead, but he's wrong. Cat Shark's amazing. This card's amazing. I banished these off Prosperity once, and it was the worst thing I've ever done. But I baited my opponent into thinking that I hadn't, so he smashed my Cat Shark. And the mine I set off of his Toad stayed for 2 more turns than it should have, and that's why I won the game. Lost the match though, but still. Ha.
You stole his mind, Toad?
Yeah, and then I mined him. And then he thought I had a Zeus, so he banished my Cat Shark with his smashers, his only out to mine. And then it's crazy. Side deck was 3 Shifter, 1 Resonator. I did not win a single game in time with Resonator today, but this card's kind of so stupid. Time rules are stupid.
Yep.
Don't know how we change them. This card, I love this card a lot. It didn't, I don't know. There might be better options against tier, because I might need cards that are good as 6 cards, just because it's, I don't know. Harpies, Cosmic Reboot, evenly for back row stuff. With all the Mystic Mind stuff going around, this might need to change, but for this regional, I wasn't super concerned about it. And then the Power Traps, Trap Trick, D-Barrier, Pointer. When I resolve these, I win. I don't think there was a single game where I like activated a D-Barrier or a Pointer or a Trap Trick and I lost. Not a single one. Yeah, so the D-Shifter is just like, I don't know, it's obviously a really good card, and it's kind of like a win button against some of the combo decks. But at the same time, on your follow-up turn, it's not always easy to kill them. So when you're G-Shiftering a deck that Zeus isn't good against, like Tier, it's it's like a little bit worse, right? So like if you're Shiftering them and not killing them, then they're getting a turn, and they can usually play through if they're good. When you Shifter them and they stop, and they pass back to you instead of trying to overextend into Shifter, that's when it's hard to win the game. So this card is underperforming the more people get better at playing into it, is what I've discovered. So it was really good in the past for me, but going into Niagara, I think it's just not as much of a win button as it used to be. So yeah, that was the list. We got 2nd and 7th. Shout out to my boy, Darian Hahn. Hey! Shout out to Team Board Wipe and our local Minnesota sponsors, Rising Star, Viral Card Games, and TGG Gaming. Shout out to Avery Foster and Ultra Ball. Shout out to my wife, who lets me travel to all these events without killing me or leaving me. So we just got a new cat, Oliver. So shout out to Oliver and Izzy, and everybody who lent me cards, which is a lot of people because most of these cards aren't mine.